Hey guys, it's Matt, and this video is going to be about the properties of matter. Let's get right into it. For this lesson, we're going to assume that there are three states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases. Let's start with the solids. Solids are rigid. They have a fixed volume and a fixed shape. For example, this cube right here is not suddenly going to change into a pyramid or a sphere because it's a solid. Next up, we have liquids. Liquids are not rigid, they don't have a fixed shape, but they do have a fixed volume. For example, water can take the shape of its container, whether it be the shape of a water bottle or a pot or a can. But no matter what way you look at it, 1 liter of water will always be 1 liter of water, even if it's in a different container. Lastly, we have gases. Gases are a bit special because they aren't rigid, they don't have a fixed volume, and they don't have a fixed shape. Gases will take the volume of its container, and the container can be whatever shape it wants. For example, we have this container that's 1 liter, which contains 300 grams of water vapor inside. The volume of this gas would be 1 liter. But we have a second box over here that's 2 liters big and has the same 300 grams of water vapor, but this has the volume of 2 liters. And this shows how the volume of gas depends on the volume of its container. Let's talk about some properties of matter. The first type of property we have are physical properties. Physical properties are characteristics that don't change the substance. For example, we have color, density, volume, mass, melting point, boiling point, ductility, malleability, and luster. Ductility is just how well something can be turned into a wire. So let's take this cylinder right here, and ductility is just going to be how well can this cylinder turn into a wire, like so. And malleability is how well something can be changed into a different shape. So for example, we could have this cube, and the malleability will show how well it can turn into a different sized rectangular prism, like so, how well it can change shapes. Next up, we have chemical properties. Chemical properties are properties that must be determined by changing the substance's chemical structure. Some chemical properties are flammability, reactivity, rusting, and corrosion. These all involve changing the substance's chemical identity, which basically just means that we get a whole new substance after it's done. So let's take rusting into consideration. I'm going to move all this out so I can make way for my example. Alright, so when iron rusts, the iron oxidizes, which just means that it reacts with the oxygen, and the resulting iron is now iron oxide. I'm going to write out the chemical equation for this to show how the iron changes into a whole new substance. So on the periodic table, iron is going to be Fe, and it's going to oxidize, which means that it reacts with oxygen. So we're going to have plus O2, which is oxygen gas. And now this whole thing is going to turn into iron oxide. It's going to react and make iron oxide, like this. Fe2O3. By the way, this is not balanced at all, but this is just the equation for it. And as you can see, the iron is reacting with something else to create a whole new product at the end. And that is how we can adjust for chemical properties. Let's try some practice problems for yourself. Water is at 50 degrees. What state of matter is it? And name one physical property. Well, water is a liquid, and boiling point is one physical property, but there are many more answers. Next, is ductility a physical or chemical property? Well, its ductility is physical because of the actual chemical identity of, let's say, copper isn't changed when turned into a wire. The copper will still be copper after it's turned into a wire. Next, is combustibility a physical or chemical property? Well, combustibility is chemical because the chemical identity is changing. The hydrocarbons are being reacted with the oxygen, and will produce carbon dioxide and water as a result. This is a chemical change, so combustibility is a chemical property. That's it for the video. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you for the next video. Thanks. Bye.